Hey, it's me. Have breakfast with me. I hope you had a good night. I actually didn't have a very good night. I didn't sleep well, but this morning is beautiful in Canada. There's a lot of sun. I went for a walk. I got ready super early, and that's just not my thing. I'm not an early person. I'm not an early morning person, so I don't really get ready all the time like this, but I felt good today and I went for a walk and I got some groceries. So today I'm gonna have some rye bread toast with Kewpie mayonnaise on top and some scrambled eggs and parsley, fresh parsley, and just some regular yogurt. I always have yogurt with everything. I tend to have yogurt in between meals. It just works better that way for your gut. But I just felt like having yogurt today because there was some fresh strawberries. And look at the size of these. Like, what's going on? And so I just wanted to dip them in yogurt. And so they looked really good, and I love strawberries. Strawberries and watermelon are my two favorite, and I think peaches too, but it's not peach season. And then, of course, my coffee with this cute little mug I found. Anyway, so I was just thinking about these strawberries, and I do have a lot of stories about Korea. I know it's weird, but making videos and sharing them has kind of like renewed a lot of the stories in my mind and memories that I've had, and I think it's a really healthy thing. And food is a big connector. Food connects people with people, and food is a sensory thing. So the look of something, the visual, the flavors, the smells reminds you of a time, right? Like when you're making cookies and you just feel like you're at home. My mom never really made cookies. So for me, it was like the Korean food that brought me back to my childhood, right? So, but as a Korean family, we normally didn't have a lot of desserts. Like we wouldn't have a lot of cookies, or, you know, I like my dad had Oreo cookies all the time, but it wasn't like my mom made like banana loaf all the time and stuff like that, or pies. It was just fresh fruit all the time. So after every meal, my mom would come out with like a big plate of just fresh fruit. And so that was our dessert. And it was always like Asian pears, strawberries, usually apple, like Fuji apples, and maybe some like watermelon, always watermelon actually. And so I grew up really lucky in that sense that it was pretty healthy, but I crave strawberries all the time. And so, you know, it was always thought that like strawberries, the bigger they are, the better they are, but I'm not really sure, because I think that if you look at strawberries in the wild, they're pretty small. Like I feel like this is more of a acceptable, normal, in the wild, feral strawberry, right? And I remember, so I'm gonna just try one. Okay, let me just get that out of the way before I continue to talk. You guys, it's so sweet. I was expecting it to be like kind of like not really sweet, but sour. It's really sweet. Wow. I'm obsessed with this like rye bread. Anyway. Yeah, so in Korea, we would have strawberry fields, and there's strawberry fields in the States too, and in Canada. I'm not saying there's not, but it was a pretty common thing for us to go to the strawberry fields and pick strawberries all the time, and they were tiny. They were tiny. They were nowhere like this. No. They were tiny, but they were like sweet. It was like 10,000 strawberries in a strawberry. Do you know what I mean? Like the flavor was crazy. Mmm. Oh my God. And so I remember just like going to the strawberry fields and just picking them and eating them as we went. Did you guys do that? I also worked on an apple orchard, so I gather up all the apples, and that actually hurts. If you do that all day for many days in a row, like your fingers start to hurt because the way you have to take the apples off, it's not fun. And so I really respect people who do that all the time. And I actually quite enjoyed it. And there's a lot of varieties of apples. And so I didn't know, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like common knowledge now, but like apples that are like kind of ugly go to places like Gerber. So like baby food companies will take the ugly ones and they'll use those for like the apple sauces and things like that. Whereas the nice looking ones are sent off to be sold at markets and stores and things like that. I didn't know that, but I always had like an insane amount of apples that I got for working at the orchard. And I, again, the same thing with like the pepero that I talked about the other day. That is something that I struggle with. I don't really like apples anymore, and I know they're really good for you. So my friends will be making like apple pie and other things with apples, and I just can't get myself to eat them because I'm just like so over it, right? But I know they're good for you, so I'm trying. And the other thing too is like in Korea, if you ever go to Korea, or Japan probably is the same, you will go to the market and find fruit being sold like gifts. Like you'll get packages of 3, or you know, like 3 Asian pears for $25, and they'll be packaged with a ribbon, and they'll have like beautiful cushion and wrapping, and it's just really, it's like they're like gems. And so you're probably going to wonder like, why is this so much more expensive? Well, fruit is very highly valued in Korea, and so it's always like a sharing point for friends and family and guests. And so when you go to someone's house, or someone has a birthday or some other event is happening, it's normal to bring really nice fruit as a gift, and that's totally acceptable. And so they have stuff already packaged and prepared in the markets, and I think that's a really lovely thing. I do that here actually. I give people fruit and vegetables as gifts, but I'm not really sure if people like appreciate it like they do in other parts of the world. I think in North America, we value more things of like tangible things that we can possess. And I know that's not true for everybody or everywhere, but you know, what if I gave you a really nicely packaged set of like fruit? What would you think about that? Also, the other thing too is it's normal to give people necessities. So things like toilet paper and paper towels, and laundry detergent, we would give those as gifts when we're going to someone's house to just visit them. And this was a normal thing. It was not considered weird or unusual because those things were very expensive, and those are very useful and essential things that everybody needs. And so we are always grateful when people give us those things. So I have given those as gifts, and knowing that it would be perceived as kind of a weird thing, but I'm pretty sure that they appreciated it at the time. So I'm hoping that I will have more opportunities to try that out and see what people think of it, because that's me. So if you ever get toilet paper from me, it's because I love you. Yep, good breakfast. It was delicious. My coffee is amazing. The strawberries were good. I'm over that rye bread. Like I'm done. Like I had it yesterday and I had it today. I think I'm done with the rye bread. So we'll try something else, okay? And I hope you have a good day. Thanks for sitting with me, and we will have lunch soon, okay? Bye.